morning. Hey everybody, Woody again, giving you an update here. We have this video is having to do with a bass that's in my arsenal that I hardly ever touch. And that is a Dean Edge Q 6-string. When I first came aboard with Dean guitars, back in, this would be about 2006, and I'll tell you the little story about it. I used to take some high-end stuff out on the road quite a bit, and then when we started having problems with TSA, as a result of 9/11 and all that kind of stuff, it became such a stressful, it was kind of a stress bucket for me, because taking, a more expensive axe out on the road and not being able to have it with me on the plane, having to check it and all that kind of stuff. So I had a few nightmarish things that happened, basses showing up, and I had an SKB, one of those roller bass cases, and the latches didn't work that great. I had several versions of it, and so it was always kind of a hassle, and I ended up at one point seeing, a gig bag that was inside. The shells were apart, and it was on the bag claim, just kind of laying out. Things like that kind of just drove me crazy. So I decided, well, I want to see if I can find, a company where some of the axes might not be quite as expensive, and yet they're good instruments, and maybe I can get something off the shelf. And if I was to lose something, et cetera, et cetera. So I was out with Gary Puckett, still am, not this year though. But anyway, so I looked into several companies, and I happened to see that Dean Guitars was in the Clearwater, Florida area, which is close to where Gary lives, is where he does live right now. And so I said, Gary, why don't we try to get, an endorsement with these guys, and then it'll be easier if I have to replace a bass. Maybe I can get something off the rack that'll work. So we went down, I came down there, and we went to the showroom, and, played. I played a bit, and then they gave us an endorsement. And initially, I got a couple of basses from them, and one of them that I used for a long time, kind of a one-trick pony, they don't make it anymore, was the Sledgehammer 5-string. And I do have one, you'll see over there, that blonde bass back there. That's I have both of them, but the fretted version has kind of been through the mill. Speaking of airlines, and knobs have been torn off, all kinds of stuff. But it served its purpose for many years. And that one back there is a version, that blonde back there. Yeah, you see the maple with the black headstock. That's the fretless version of that. That was Josh Maloney over there was kind enough to kind of supervise them making that. They have fretless. They have a couple of fretless basses now, but back then I think this one definitely was not available as a fretless. So he oversaw that and kind of helped them do that. So I used it for a while, but I've got several fretlesses. Anyway, all that to say that the other bass that I got from them was a 6-string Dean Edge Q 6-string, which has EMGs, and I've used it, on some recording things, a couple of live things, but basically it kind of hasn't been used that much. And strangely enough, when I converted over to 5-string back in 1983, it really wasn't much of a changeover for me going to the low B for some reason. It was fine. But the high C on this, I don't know, man. I can't get used to it. So it would take me a little longer to get used to the 6-string kind of thing. Although I love the extended range. harmonically and otherwise. Anyway, all that to say that this is a video about that particular bass, so I just kind of got it out of the rack and was playing it a bit. So it being end of the year here, December the 14th on a Monday, and as we kind of 2020 kind of crawls to an end. Many things have happened this year. It's been a hard, difficult year for a lot of people, many people, businesses, musicians, taking an entertainment industry, those that are dependent upon, live work have really taken a big hit, and it's been horrible. I myself have not been on the road since March with Gary Puckett and the Union Gap. I look forward to getting back out with those guys, my Gapper buddies and Gary, in 2021. I hope that things turn around so we can do that and do some travel. But the positive thing for me is I've been able to do this kind of thing, is make some videos and impart what I hope is some knowledge that maybe some people could use, and some bass stuff. I will continue to do that. I have about 3 or 4 bass videos I've been trying desperately to get done. My How Does It Feel series is continuing. I'll have some more stylistic things to put out with that. May not get to that till January, though, at this point, because we're getting close to Christmas and all that kind of stuff. I have managed somehow to get back to working locally, so I'm doing about 2 or 3 gigs a week, so that's a good thing. Trying to stay safe, but still doing that. And I have my music director at my church here at Ebenezer Baptist Church that we're in the middle of, this week getting ready for our Christmas program. So it's very, very busy. So it's really hard for me to, no excuse, but it's pretty hard for me to kind of finish and spend as much time as I'd like on some of these videos. This one is just simply showing that 6-string and playing it a little bit. It still, for me, needs some tweaking in terms of balance of the strings, I think, and that kind of stuff. But I'm going to work on that and try to use it a little more in my arsenal. The Dean Edge Q 6-string I don't think is available anymore, but they do have some 6-strings in their arsenal. By the way, Dean has some really fine instruments. They've got some pretty cool looking instruments now, so go check them out. I've been very happy with my Dean Edge Pro 5-string, which I use primarily on live gigs. I kind of go back and forth. I love playing 4-string anymore as well. And so I've kind of had a dalliance with Sire for the last several years. I'm not a true endorser for them, but I certainly endorse the instrument. I love the instruments they have. And the price is not bad. My Dean endorsement, I'm very grateful for. Those guys have been pretty good to me. And so please go check their wares out. They have some great stuff. And so go check them out. I certainly recommend it. So I hope you enjoy this. This is just, I'm going to get this out hopefully today. And maybe this week I have another one that I'm kind of excited about, starting the idea of playing free or playing free form or just a little more out there interaction with musicians, and kind of the idea of doing that. And some of the advantages of that, because I think there are things you can certainly learn from that. Playing free sometimes is, to use sort of a spiritual parallel, is many times kind of just for the edification of the musicians playing. The audience sometimes may get a little lost if things get a little too out there. But there certainly are advantages and things you can learn from that harmonically and otherwise. Especially if you're playing, and interacting with other musicians, just your using your ears, opening up and listening is the most critical thing. That's how you accomplish it. So I hope you enjoy this little short video. I'm just kind of playing a little bit on the 6-string, and I'll try to get some more out this week if I get a chance. But if I don't, then I wish you all the happiest of holidays. Merry Christmas. Have a great rest of the year. We're hopeful for a much, much better year in 2021. So see you guys next time. Yeah. That's right, you are seeing correctly. This is a Dean Edge Q 6-string from years ago. I don't know. Get some distortion. That might be good. I'm gonna do it with a little track here. Middle, both pickets.